You are waiting for a board, or we don't get a
adapter
adapter?
that goes to
He's bringing that over. Is Mike bringing over an adapter?
That's
He's on, sorry.
So you have something before, like you want to start talking, meeting, you want to wait for the adapter?
Just say hi.
Or do you want to start it and then it comes? Wait, wait.
let's wait. Yes, how long is it take?
No, Mike, he's right across the courtyard.
It's my entire presentation.
I'm leaving it.
Girls, I'm going to tell you when you're leaving. If you are a spring sport athlete, you're going to leave at about 10 till. You're going to go to your spring sport. The coach knows that, and then we're going to work out a time when you can come back and watch it live, or coach is filming it, and he's going to make sure you have access to it so you can see it. But I do want to be loud and clear here, and I know this is, we're kind of waiting on something, but in my opinion, you need to hear this with my eyes. I think this is the best program in our school. I don't mean that as a disrespect to anyone else. When I talked about we're competitive, when I talk about following the mission of the school, when I talk about camaraderie and our staff, when we watch this, I just feel this is one of the, if not the top program in the school. That all being said, I know a lot of you are hanging your hat on soccer for the next level. You are committed to a sport, and we have a great introduction today, and coach is aware that you're going to go to your commitment, and then we'll work out when you're going to come back and have your schedule, see and meet. You're going to get plenty of face time from this point forward, okay, from this. Those of you that don't know, I'm Mr. O'Toole, obviously the athletic director. In December, we found out, obviously, that we were going to be in search of a new soccer coach. I went to your banquet. I was thoroughly impressed, and I think that's kind of what put me over the hump of why I love your program so much. I thought that was an excellent banquet. I thought you girls celebrated well. I thought the coaches did a great job celebrating you, the ones considering the situation. I thought they did a tremendous job making sure everyone who was acknowledged, celebrated, we then decided we're going to obviously begin a search for our new soccer coach. And obviously, here we are, middle of March. I want you to know it was an extensive search. We brought in a lot of different people trying to debate what we were looking for. And we are very excited with the coach that we landed to lead our girls soccer program. Some of you may know Coach from the private sector, from the club volleyball. Some of you may remember the days when he coached over at Hawken. But our committee, Ms. Brewer Angelo, Mr. Mahalko, Ms. Kennedy, we went through this in his knowledge, his love for the game, his connections. It's just, I really am excited for you girls and where I think this soccer program is headed. I am not the smartest guy in the room, and I've asked them 5 times to help me pronounce this last name, and I'm still not great. I'm going to say it how I think it is, and then you're going to tell them how it is. But I'm very excited to introduce to you, Coach. It looks like Travonis to me. Now pronounce it for me. So you got to say that. Coach T is going to be how we're going to. But how about a round of applause for your new girls soccer coach, Coach T. Very excited to meet our ladies.
Thank you, Sean, for the introduction.
No problem.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Gilmore Soccer Program. Very excited to be here. Everyone can see the screen, by the way, just to make sure. So basically, I put together a presentation for you guys to kind of get used to my coaching philosophy, my style of presentation, because I do talk a lot. Okay? I'm a big believer that soccer, it's not about how to pass the ball only. It's about how and where and why and when. So the majority of this starts on the tactical board, and that's why before, when we don't have what we used to just do everything on a piece of paper on the board, but now using the technology, we can really put together a nice presentation for every game, for every training session if needed, and make it as clear as possible for the players to execute the tactical plan, the strategy of the game, okay, and boost your personal, individual, and team development. So that's why I do a lot of PowerPoint, and that's where I've been kind of, not only, it's not just to put PowerPoint together, like I said, it's just more about to introduce players to the new way of getting information when it comes to the us. So let's start. Again, I'm not going to read off all the slides, right? So I did play a lot of soccer, right? So for many, many years, I played every single level that you can possibly imagine, including the World Cup, Olympic Games, Champions League, anything that comes to your mind in terms of soccer, I played there. I had a blast with that. And then 10 years ago, I started coaching. But then I realized that, hey, just being a professional player and to develop players is two different things. So it took me 10 years to study how to be a coach. 10 years, and I'm still learning, right? And I think this is lifetime opportunity, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop. I'm always will try to look for the ways how to be a better coach, ways to improve myself as a coach, and this is something that I'm trying to translate to my players. That, hey, if you think that you're the superstar in soccer, you're definitely wrong, right? There's always someone better. And right now I'm like, what, 6-7 months away from getting a license, which is highest license in coaching in this country. And then what's next, when I already plan on what's next, there is another level that I can get the next coaching education from. So basically 10 years took me to get to the A license, still doing the coaching education. Obviously got the good pathway in terms of just school education, right? Got my master's degree and all that good things. And currently working for two different organizations. One is Cleveland Force, known right now as the Cleveland Soccer Academy, but going forward it's going to be Cleveland Force. And then I run the Goalkeeper Academy, also in the Region 2. What else in terms of my background? I'm an OGP regional and national staff. Basically, what I do for OGP, I help to select the 18 players who represent Region 2. We have 16 states in the Region 2. Boys and girls, 2004-2005 age group, that's what I'm responsible for. And then we'll send them to play against different regions in winter months. So do a lot of scouting for this program, and it basically takes me one phone call to recommend a player who, in my opinion, can play at a national level. In terms of my connection with the college coaches, it's another great thing that I think you need to realize. Who wants to play college soccer? Guys, at least like what, 30% of the team? Hopefully going to be more soon, right? So I have a database of every single program in the country, of every single coach that I can reach within minutes. So basically, we estimated that for one player to reach out to every school, it will take 10 years to research, right? There are 3,000 educational institutions, so one per day, 9 years. But I can reach out all 3,000 educational institutions for you in minutes, and I just will need your profile to do that. So do a lot of help, basically every day, helping players to play the next level. And at the same time, I have no problem going and work with 5-year-old Lucy because she wants to play soccer. Okay? So it's not something that I want just, hey, I want to work with the players who are just there to play, and that's all they do. No, absolutely not. I'm trying to share my knowledge with everyone who is interested in it. However, I do have some coaching philosophy and some points that I'm trying to make right now. This is a big one. This is a big one. You don't play soccer to get fit. You need to be fit to play. So in terms of me calling every single day in the summer, hey, Goff, are you about to work out? I absolutely not gonna do that, right? We're gonna come together in the summer, and I'm gonna look at her mobility if she can play. If she cannot execute the mobility that needed, then what?
Got a spot for you on the bench.
That I'm gonna be right here with me, and let's go, girls, right? So again, I'm a big believer in that, right? So you need to be a little bit self-motivated in order to play, right? So between 14 to 18 years old, you should know your body and you should know what needs to be done for you to be fit to play. Okay? And I'm trying to make an impact with my coaching, right? So it's everything that I'm trying to deliver in terms of coaching will be most likely. I'm trying, again, it might not work every time, but I'm trying to make a point based on 5 W's. What is the player current behavior? Where's on the field? Who is involved if it's more than one unit? Okay, when exactly and what happened and why? Okay, so instead of trying to come up with multiple coaching points, just very specific. Everything will be based on data and facts. Okay. I do think that everything needs to be done with the 100% effort, right? And I don't pass around the brochures to sign saying there's 150 rules of what's going to happen if you're going to miss the training session, or what's going to happen if you're going to miss the trial. I don't have that. I don't. Right? All I have is the players who will share the common goal, and if we will set up the big goal for us, right? So because I see the players who are willing to win the state title, and if this is going to be our final destination, right? So hey, let's get to Columbus as the final destination, and what's the currently right now having the first group meeting? Okay. Well, everything in between is going to be our roadmaps. You will have your roadmaps to follow. I will have my roadmaps to follow. We will have some common destinations, common roadmaps, and if we will be able to put that together nicely with team and individual efforts, then why do I need to kind of put anything in terms of the rules or anything like that? I don't have that. I don't have that. I never had the problem with discipline. Never had the problem with the players basically trying to come up with some excuses not to play, not to train. I don't have that. Okay? Because to me, I will predetermine, of course, I will predetermine going forward. Where is that? I'm going to skip a few slides here and there. Look at that. This is the model. Probably some of you already saw that, maybe some of you not. But this is the model how to get from point A. And point A is right here. That's who we are right now, stage 1. We're in stage 1. You don't know me, I don't know you, some of you I might know, but most of you don't know me, right? So we're just gonna establish the first connection. But if we want to get here, where we perform together, okay, then we will have to bypass certain stages, right? And the big one, it's storming. If we're gonna get stuck on this, if we're gonna get stuck here, then we're not gonna get anywhere. So basically, Adams, what's in your opinion, challenging the leader? How would you challenge the leader?
Not going to practice because you think you'll automatically play.
Barlo, what do you think?
Giving you a difficult time thinking I'm already in shape knowing that I'm not.
What's your name?
Abby,
What do you think?
not trusting that you know that's better for us than me.
What's your name?
Allie.
Alan, what do you think? How can you challenge the leader?
Saying no, I don't want to do it.
Right? What's your name?
Madison.
Madison, what do you think?
I think just challenging the leader is just, like kind of what everyone's been saying. Just like you don't want to show up to practice, you don't want to work hard, you just like don't want to give your 100% to everything.
Do you think the leader is me? Who think that the leader is me? Who is the leader? all of us. Okay? All of us. So if you can challenge yourself or coach or your partners, what's the testing boundaries? I'm going to give you one example. I just recently happened. One of my players called me, hey coach, tomorrow big game, I'm going to be resting. My hamstring a little bit tight. I want to rest for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll give you 100%. Tomorrow you're going to give me 0%. Okay? Because how we can establish the performing stage and operate and celebrate success together if you're not present. I have a hard time understanding that. Okay? So that's why, to me, most of the programs breaking down in terms of the team development by going from here, let's do it. Okay? We're together, we're going to get to know each other, and then they agree to some common goals, then they go to perform, the result is not present. What's the first thing? Hey coach, why I'm playing defense? And from here, we're jumping back to the stage two. Hey coach, I think we should play 4-3-3 next game because the result is very important. We go from here back to the stage two. And based on the research, I'm not going to go to the statistical researches, the chances that we're going to accomplish the goal if we're going to get stuck here, right, Adams? What do you think? What do you think the chances to accomplish the goal?
Not high.
Very low. Very, very low. So, let's go back to where we started. This is the model that I'm following with basically every day, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys. We're going to be based on the FIFA rules too, right? So we're not going to play any different, right? Just FIFA rules. Our game will be structured for the goal of the game. What's your name? Kelly. What do you think our goal of the game? Every game, what's the goal? Why we play soccer? What? To win. Yeah, to win. No, if we lose, it's not fun, right? If we lose, it's not. To me, if you go to compete, you want to win. Do you agree?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. If we want to go compete, we want to win, right? That's at least how I operate. I don't know if you guys feel different, but to me, if you go to play in a game, any game, right? You want to win. You don't want to lose. Lose is not fun. But how we want to play. How we want to play. Well, it depends on the general principle.
We have to go across.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure.
So much.
Watch catch the video on the YouTube or something.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
See ya. Okay. What's your name? What do you think the general principles might be?
Play as a team.
What else?
Don't discourage anyone.
Think about this. When we attack, what we want to do when we attack? We want to score. When we defend, what we want to do? Not to give up a goal. So that's the general principles, right? Now we go to the style of play. What's the style of play, Barlow, in this team? What's the style of play? What do you think? How would you describe the style of play of this team? Because I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Same.
I feel like they try to go a lot from the back, when we're working out from the back, or it's like played high, like when we go to a corner and we really try to cross it.
What's your name?
Cooper.
What do you think of the style of play is in this team?
To move the ball forward.
How about back line? What's your name?
Julia.
Julia, what do you think? What's the style of play?
Possession oriented.
Possession oriented. Goff, what do you think the style of play is?
I was going to kind of say that, like you like to go off the back really fast and move forward and overlap the grounds.
Okay? So, to me, before the season, we need to know what's our style of play is. And everyone need to have the same idea of what we're trying to do. And it's going to be defined. The thing is big. Then the style of play, of course, will lead to the key qualities, right? So what's the key qualities? What do you think of the key qualities?
Like how well you perform, and like everyone has like their own different kind of way of playing, and everyone has like their own like weaknesses and strengths that they can work on, and like that kind of just like forms like a team, I guess.
Okay. What's your name?
Anna.
Anna, what do you think the key qualities are?
Like of the team, like as a whole.
Based on the style of play,
Based on the style of
yeah,
play.
what's the key qualities we need to play the style of play?
Teamwork. We have to like be willing to like move out of our ways to like help other people, and like because I mean not everyone always plays 100%. Like that's just bound to happen. So I have to be able to pick each other up and work cohesively.
Okay. What do you think?
Thank you.
That we just, the key qualities are like just to build off of each other's mistakes, and if someone like, just how they play, you have to build off of that and move for them.
Okay. Well, let me get you a little bit more specific on what's the key qualities of world-class player is. Optimal technical physical abilities, responsibility, focus, decision-making in the game, and game understanding. This is the key qualities we need to play the style of course, the style of play we want. That's our ultimate goal. Okay? And then all the points that you guys brought up, it's going to be somewhere inside. And then each player will have to have some key qualities too. Right? Because based on your key qualities, then I can establish what?
I'm not gonna establish a position, a team, anything.
So based on this, then I can tell which position you play. So again, I'm not going to read off all the slides, but this is what expected from the Gilmore varsity starting goalkeeper. That's the minimum cost. And if you're 14 years old and you can do that, now you're going to play. But this will answer a lot of questions on, hey coach, my God, who wants to know, coach, why am I playing? Well, probably one of those things didn't execute it well. Okay? So, and I have that again. I'm going to share that with you guys, of course, so you know what's expected. What's the minimum cost for me to give the opportunity to the player to compete at Gilmore for Gilmore soccer team. Okay. So I have that for the outside backs, of course, for the goalkeeper, for the center backs, right? So it's again, it's look like it's a lot of information, but that's not. It's just very basic things that players need to be able to do. And as you can see, the formation 4-3-3, but it doesn't mean that the style of play or the strategy will be exactly as on the picture. It can be different. Okay? So, for every position, Madison, what's your position?
Outside back.
Outside back. Tell me the number.
2.
So number 2. Let me see.
Yeah.
So, able to deliver early cross in the box?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good 1v1 defending?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know when to stay with the player, when to do the zonal defending?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Full range of passing?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay? So this is just an example, right? It might, like I said, it might be a lot of information, but most of you already exactly know what needs to be done. Okay? And again, when we were all here, we already talked about it, but our goal will be here. Okay? And that's why I will need a lot of help. Not only because I cannot do it myself, right? I will need assistant coaches. I will need every player to help me to get from here, help us to here. Okay. Because if again, we're gonna get stuck somewhere in storming, where we're gonna challenge each other, testing boundaries, and we'll take the defensive approach, maybe to the coaches, maybe to each other. It's gonna be hard. Okay? It's gonna be hard to perform. So basically, what's next for us? Because what's next is very important. Okay? I'm gonna show you the first kind of a homework assignment. Because to me, this is the very first step. Because if Barlow would like to open up the restaurant business, I will try to put her in the college to play soccer, then it's going to be very hard for me to develop this player. Okay? And opposite, if medicine will tell me, hey coach, hey, I just committed to Division 1. Don't tell me how to sell products on Amazon. I'm not interested yet. Right? But as funny it might sound, this is where a lot of communication breakdown come into play. I need to know what your individual development plan is. What are you planning on doing? Okay. Or for example, what's your goal? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
College.
Doing what?
No.
Playing soccer?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? So I need to know that. I need to know that. If it's probably not, then what is? How can I help? How can I help individual players to do their proper periodization to help you to get to where you want to go? Okay? So this is example of self-assessment, because to me that's where all of you guys are going to start. You will do the self-assessment. Okay? I put together for myself, I put 6 main points. Okay? Coaching a game, coaching training session, leadership, managing performance environment, leading the player, leading the team. And then right here, number 5, outside, it's where the best coach in the world, and this where I am right now, compared to the best coach in the world. It's just my self-assessment. Okay? So now I can clearly see basically what I need to improve on. And here's my action plan. Okay, so to get the A license, to get goalkeeping A license, and to develop the international market valuable players, national market valuable players. Long-term goal probably, right? As I share with you the staff of national team, get a PhD, and support the ongoing learning, coaching, education. Right? So that's my individual plan, just an example, and that's my action plan. Okay, what I'm going to do to improve on each of 6 points that I wrote for you guys. Right? So what I'm going to do to improve coaching game, leading the team, leading the player. Okay? So this is the big one. This is the big one. Okay? I need to make sure players trust to me, and I trust the players. Because if I don't trust the players, or the players don't trust to me, we're going to get stuck in stage 2, and we're never going to move on. So for me, again, the next step is, well, I'm going to give you, and I already gave it to you, information on what I expect from the Gilmore soccer players to do based on the position you choose, because you're going to choose the position that you can fit in more of the profiles, right? So that's why, to me, I'm going to give you the information. For example, Madison said that she is outside back. Well, then the Madison will tell me how can you and where you see yourself in terms of self-evaluation. Right here. So you're going to plug in your numbers. That's the step number 1. Then I want to see your individual plan. And I want to see your action plan. Self-assessment, individual development plan, action plan. So again, it can be as simple as, look at my individual development plan. Yeah. It's a very short, very specific, straight to the point. So if, what's your name?
Grace.
If Grace want to be captain, probably her individual plan need to say, hey, you were captain by this time, this date, for example. And if she's not going to have it, then why would I even nominate this player to be a captain, right? So like I said in the beginning, right, why I want to help you to sell the products on Amazon if you want to play soccer, right? So vice versa, I need to know exactly what the plan is for you, okay? When you want to accomplish that, and how you're going to do that. Okay? So because if Adam's going to tell me, hey, Coach Anto, next year, please Captain Ben, just because I want to see that, well, it's not going to happen, right? Because what's the action plan, right? I need to know what you're willing to do. Maybe you're willing to put together the profile stronger than everyone else. Maybe it's something else. But I need to know what you're willing to put, what's your value, if you want to achieve something. Okay. So then let me see if let's keep the slide. Let me go back. That's the big one. Okay? So, again, individual plan development. I think we can do it by the end of the month. What do you think? Can we put together, each of you, can you guys put together an individual plan by the end of the month? Okay? I'll give you the template of performance wheel, where you're going to plug in, I had 6, you will have maybe 26, depends on the profile, right? So remember the goalkeeper profile, you put all of them, you grade, you're going to give me the performance wheel, and then your individual plan. Okay. So then I'm going to talk to Sean more to make sure by the end of April you will know what's expected in terms of individual game analysis, how to do individual game analysis, what's the individual player game analysis, what's the trends can be, and how you're going to support the presentation. Because I think every player deserves the recognition. Okay? So for me to nominate player for All-American, I need to have the strong profile. Okay? Right? So I will have an opportunity to go and present, same as this, I will have opportunity to go and present different players based on their profiles for different nominations, right? So for me, if your profile is very, very strong, I have no problem going and talking about you. Okay? But you will have to put this individually and present it to all of us. Okay? So again, it's going to be something for me and Sean to talk about, to make sure I will have another opportunity to do the presentation where I can show you where to find the game, how to break the game in pieces, how to put this mini clip into the PowerPoint presentation, and what exactly you need to look for. Then I think by the first game, we will have to establish what's the style of play, what's our value, what's DNA, What do you think? What's your name again? Sammy. What's DNA? What's the team DNA? What do you think?
Who's hard? Or who's playing where?
I think the team DNA is more who we are. Right? So what are we exactly going to be known for? Okay? So to me, if we step on the field, right, then the fans need to be able to recognize who we are. And it starts with what's our mission. And school already gave you the mission. School probably already gave you core values and a vision. But we will need to translate on the field. we will have to determine that what's the style of play, how exactly we play, who we are. One more picture, and again, this is something for us to accomplish by the first game, and then evaluation of the individual plan and recognition is something after the season. And this is just an example of how DNA can translate on the field. Okay, 2 different age groups. This is 12, 13 years old players. This is 19, 20, 21. 19, 20, 21. Okay, college soccer Division 1. And this is the youth club soccer, little girls playing. Okay. So, to me, this picture does it. It's a self-explanatory picture where you can see that the players are willing to compete, players are willing to sacrifice, and players definitely share the common goal, 100%. And if this is the common goal, not to give up a goal, maybe if this is a common goal to win the ball back, I don't know. But this is just an example of what's the style of play. Okay. And the second we will determine that, each of us individually and as a team will definitely get to the step above in terms of competition. Okay. Because right now, if I'm going to ask Madison, how would you like how would you like to compete? She's probably going to give me a completely different answer compared to the Grace, right? Because do you know how she likes to compete?
Not really.
Do you know how she likes to compete?
Physical.
What else? Just physical? Physical. If you think if you're gonna go physical, you're gonna.
Well, she doesn't finish and she won't give up the goal.
So for us, again, we can determine that by having the same style of play for all of us for sure, and knowing what's our DNA. So the next year when I'm gonna have the imagine next fall, 2019 fall freshman class. I want to put a picture and tell the freshman class that this who we are and this how we play. Just by showing 2-3 pictures, that's it. Because we will have a culture of who we are, right? We have a mission already provided by the school. And then it's going to be an ongoing process of getting every player on the same page. Okay. Ongoing. And this is again, I'm gonna work very, very hard to make sure that's gonna happen. Okay. Because to me, when you have the players 14 to 18 years old, there need to you will have to put something together to be on the same page in order to get fully maximize your potential and compete. For the common goal, which is the goal? To win, right? Questions for me? Where can you find the material? Bingo, right? So I'm working right now with Christy to set up the email from coaches, right? So I will try to get all the emails from you guys, and then again expect 3 things. Number 1, performance wheel. Number 2, player profile. Number 3, individual plan development. This presentation will be shared with everyone, including your parents, and the video will post as well for everyone to have the access to. Cool? All right. Well, appreciate you coming here after school. Look forward to our second meeting already, and get the work done. All right? Thank you.
Girls, do me a favor, walk up and introduce yourself to coach, okay? Tell him your full name, what grade you're in, just so he can put a name and a face to you, okay?
Nice to meet you.
Oh,
Great.
Grace turned over.
No,
I'm standing, sorry.
Madison Junior.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Oh, Olsen, by the way.
Bye-bye.
what's up?
I didn't say the last name.
Going to Vegas, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for doing cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, girls, thank you.
Thank you.
And,
Yes,
well, buddy.
thank you.
So, pretty much so that, at least that tells us who's here now, at least we know. We can reach all their contact info. They're already on a group chat, you remind or whatever. We'll get that, oh, you said you have something you use, right?
Team up?
He uses everything then. I know the school wants us to use, yeah, the remind is something legality wise. Christie, talk to Christie about that,
Okay.
just so we know legality wise.